Today I want to make a video on an open wheel race car, a single seater, a Formula style car. One, because I've never made a video on a car like this before, and I've made loads of videos on cars, loads of videos on race cars, but never something like this. And two, it's convenient. This is a super Formula car. It's the first one to come to Thailand. It's in Bangkok. It's a B-Quik's race shop in Sri Saman, just north of the city in Nonthaburi. So it's handy, it's convenient. Unfortunately, the backdrop isn't fantastic. We're jammed into the reception area of B-Quik's race shop. There's wheels and tires all around, there's desks, there's people working. This is a hub, this is a thriving race shop that's busy. So we haven't got a lot of room here. The light's not great, it's kind of flooding in everywhere. This car, I can't move it. So this is going to be a static video looking at the car, looking at some of the details. Can't fire it up, can't move it. But I still think it's quite interesting to see, and for me quite interesting to learn about it, quite interesting to make some video on it. Super Formula, it's Japan's like F2, before that they used F3000. So this is the big stepping stone, and you can see from the car it looks like a Formula One car. The whole style, dorsal fin in the middle, the obligatory halo now. We've got the plates on the front wing. Again, it's all very F1 style, all made out of carbon fiber. It is a pure pucker race car that's going to get you ready for the biggest step of all. This car is built by Dallara. Dallara, they've got junior ladder series single seaters sewn up for really the last 15-20 years. In the old days, companies like Lola, Reynard, they used to sell their cars into what was this level of championship in Japan, like they did everywhere else. But really, since about 15, I would say, years ago, Dallara just swept out the market, and every junior series has a control chassis. Dallara built pretty much most of them. There's one or two other brands in there, but Dallara got pretty much the market zipped up tight. This car is called the SF19, which is a little bit confusing because you associate it with Scuderia Ferrari, but it's not a Ferrari, although it's got a lot of red and carbon on it. It was introduced in 2019, so it's been 3 years. It's been the chassis in Super Formula. A new car is coming soon, but this is the current beast. The Japanese drivers ply their trade in when they're looking to step up, go to the next level. And like I say, it's a pretty sophisticated car. It has a 2-litre turbo engine in the back. Unfortunately, the cover is completely locked down today, so we're not going to look at that. But it has a 2-litre engine, which was developed jointly between Toyota and Honda, but now they kind of go their own way. So although this is a controlled chassis, controlled tires, controlled fuels, on the engine side, Toyota and Honda, they're locked into that fight that they've been fighting forever. And the engine was developed out of their GT500 program, so it's a rocket ship good enough to power this. So today, what I want to do is, Jules, technical engineer at B-Quik Racing, he's working on getting their GT3 cars ready after the last race and prepared. They're off to Sepang. I'm going to ask him to just show us some of the technical details, some of the innovations, what goes on in this car, because this guy is well traveled. He's worked on these cars before. He knows them, not just GT3. He kind of knows everything. And if you watch some of my videos before, the ones I did on the Caymans, the ones I did on the R8, he explained them all, what was going on. So I'm going to get him in to take a look at this car, show you what's happening.
So this is the Super Formula. It's from Japan. It's just the step before Formula One. So as you see the front, they have a big rear wing like Formula One to canalize the air on the top of the car and to create a lot of downforce. They have a lot of appendix on the side of the cars to canalize the air on the side, as you see, this one and this one, to blow the air on the side of inside the radiator. The extraction here, to extract the hot air from the radiator. The stabilized fin here, and the narrow rear wing from the regulation of the Super Formula. Suspension, it's a double wishbone front and rear with double push-rod front and rear. Basically, is torsion bar at the front and rear springs. They have roll bars and third element also at the front and at the rear, like a Formula One car. About the brakes is front and rear carbon brakes, disc and pads. They have the cooling brake ducts here, outside the tires, to canalize the air inside, and they have a big carbon drum to hold the air around the brake disc. All right, this species here is the tub, so is where the driver is sitting on. On that side here, underneath these carbon things, they have the fuel tank. It's a big capacity fuel tank, around 100 something liters. Just behind that, they have the oil tank for the engine. Then the engine until here is a 2-liter engine turbo. And from here to the end here, this is the gearbox, Ricardo gearbox, 6-speed gearbox. The air intake for the engine on this car is on the right side, as you see here. It goes through the turbo. The air go back to the side pod here, to the air radiators, and go to the engine. All right, for the floors, is like the old Formula One from 2021. So it's a step floor, not a Venturi floor. Have a big flat floors with a step at the middle for the wood planks. As you see, they have a huge diffuser at the rear, and the small hole here is for the starter of the engine. This piece is the rear crash box of the cars, and this part is for towing the cars. This is the Super Formulas, so they use the 13-inch rims like the old style in Formula One. But in Japan, they use Yokohama tires. They provide all the tires for all the Super Formula in Japan, and they have multi-compound tires, soft, medium, hard tires, and wet, of course. Okay, in the Super Formula Championships, they have the refueling during the race. So basically, during the pit stop, the people coupling the car here to refuel the car. This takes around 1 second for 3 liters of fuel. Okay, this formula is very close than the Formula 2 what we use in Europe. The big difference there from these cars to the Formula 2, the Formula 2 uses the DRS system on the rear wings, opening and close rear wing like Formula 1. This car don't have it, but have the push-to-pass or boost system, what we can call it. Is activated by the drivers and is like big power more, like 100 horsepower more. And the LED will flashing here when the driver activates it.